This is LA's first.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. We're all about manifestation, transformation, and breakthroughs. It's time to claim your birthright of prosperity, vitality, and love. So grab your tea or coffee because together we're awakening the world. May you live your truth. Are you feeling sadness? Maybe some shame, regret? Maybe you're experiencing anger or upset, or maybe you're totally heartbroken. Or maybe just simply suffering within. Well, today's podcast is for you. If you are experiencing anything other than true creation, true enjoyment, and true fulfillment, today's podcast is for you. So welcome to the Dr. Erin podcast. We come together each day to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law. We truly believe that somebody, when they awaken, they have a gift and message to bring to the world, and together we're awakening the world. So I'm Dr. Erin. I'm a doctor of divinity, founder of Soul Society and New Thought Global, TV host of Good Morning La La Land. And what we do here in Soul Society, New Thought Global, is we develop soulpreneurs. We certify spiritual coaches and spiritual practitioners and develop new thought leaders. And yes, doctors of divinity shortly rolling out here as well. Okay, so let's break this on down. We're in a series of universal laws. Today is Universal Law of Truth. It's number 36 of 52 series. And so let's break this on down. My favorite saying in the entire world is, the truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. So aligning to universal law, why do we care? We care because we want to experience the true divine power that we are. We want to experience manifesting and demonstrating what we want to experience in this life. And so today is all about understanding that the truth shall set you free. Another one of my favorite sayings is, may you live your truth, because we have to recognize and first break down what is truth. And we know that there is absolute truth and relative truth. Absolute truth is that you are immortal, eternal, all-powerful, all-knowing spiritual being, and that you are one with everything because you are the source, which is the I am factor, which has created all of life. A relative truth is that you uniquely, as the individualized fractal of the one, get to use universal law and your experience individually. And that what works for you versus another person is unique for you, and that you have a unique divine expression as the one. So let's break this on down. I was working with a client the other day, and she was upset. She was upset with herself, actually. She had a lot of shame and guilt and felt like she was being lazy and was just really disappointed in herself. So we went through an upset rundown, and she began to kind of speak aloud, all the things she was upset about. I'm upset with myself because I am just not living up to my potential. I'm upset with myself because I feel like I get into conflict with people. I get upset with myself because I give advice when I shouldn't be giving advice. I'm upset with myself. And she went on and on and on. And then all of a sudden, I took her into another process of taking her kind of wiser self, speaking to herself. What would you like to say to yourself right here and right now? And she began to speak truth into herself, speaking from her wiser self. And she said something to the extent of, you are amazing. You are born of the divine. You have given so much and you give so much. And she began to speak truth. And in this moment, as a practitioner, as a doctor of divinity, as somebody who knows truth, what happens for me is I begin to get chills as soon as there's a shift in someone's consciousness, as soon as there's been a reception in their soul, because I can feel it, because I'm done so much work. I get chills that go through my body and soul. And as she began to speak truth, she literally shifted her entire experience, her mindset, her actual physicality began to shift. And that is the level of whether you are living the law of truth or whether you are living in suffering. It is all in mind and is all shifting in the truth of who you are, and that everything is working for you, because everything is all the growth and masterclass of life. And everything is perfect exactly as it is, because there's always a lesson and a blessing and development in all of it. So, the law of truth, universal law of truth, basically states at the core of who you are lives an omnipotent presence that has eternal wisdom and love. Within each cell of your body lives a divine intelligence, an innate healer, and an unlimited life force. You are endowed with intuition and universal guidance. The extent to which you deny this is the extent to which you will suffer. Do you understand this? The extent to which you deny this, you will suffer, meaning, where are you lying to yourself? Where are you lying to yourself? What limited beliefs are you still buying into? Where do you still feel like you're a victim or the effect of life? Who did you wrong? And who broke your heart? So let's break this on down. What is truth? There's a saying that, at first, truth is difficult, but then it gets easier and easier. Whereas a lie at first may be easy, but then it gets harder and harder to maintain. I don't know if any of you guys remember the movie with Jack Nicholson where he says, "You can't handle the truth." It's an old movie, so I bet many of you don't remember. I think it was a 1980s movie. And he's a lieutenant, and he had to give a harsh order. And basically, it became a big thing in the court. And he basically says that you can't handle the truth, meaning that there's decisions that people make in this life that's their truth, right? That there's a truth that sometimes isn't easy, and it is a relative truth. And we all have truth. We have a relative truth, we have ultimate truth, but the ultimate truth is what sets us free. The relative truth also sets us free at some level because it's the choice that we're making fully right now. And it aligns to what works for us right now. And in that, we are set free as well. So, for example, maybe you had to break up with somebody. Maybe you had to cut somebody out of your life. Maybe you had to, um, block someone. Maybe you've had to walk away from a situation, a job, something, and it was hard, but it was your truth. And at that point in time, it actually gave you relief because it was something that it was true for you at that point in time. Okay, that's a relative truth of what sets you free as well. So, in this universal law of truth, we have to recognize that the truth always sets us free. We have to know the truth around everything. And then we also have to get in alignment with our unique truth. So, this is how we're going to do it. So, the law of truth is basically, where in your life do you have a secret still? Where are you lying to yourself? Okay, your soul desires for you to come clean and live authentically. We've all lived in suffering, whether it be in a bad relationship, whether it be not doing what we love to do, whether it be, hurting ourselves or dysfunction or whatever it may be, because it's not our truth. The triune of freedom is truth, life, and beauty. Where are you not living truth? Where are you not living life? And where do you not have beauty with what you consider beautiful? To unlock your divinity, you must end the battle within and live a life of transparency. A transparent life. It may be uncomfortable at first, but the universe assures that there is a life of freedom on the other side. May living your truth set you free, right? So we have to take a look at this. I had this great conversation the other day with Hunter. He runs Third Eye Thoughts on Instagram. He has 2.3 million followers or something like that. And began to dive deep into what's going on in the world and got deeper and deeper in conscious conversation. It was a great conversation. And we started the conversation about heartbreak because a lot of his followers, a lot of the posts that do really well on Instagram are about, heartbreak and finding your soulmate and, the narcissist that you dated and all these different things about relationship. People are kind of obsessed with that aspect of life because it's a deep feeling that we love the feeling of being high on romantic love, right? But so the concept is, who actually breaks your heart? It's impossible. Like, it's impossible for somebody to make you feel anything. You are the creator. The moment that you place a positive or negative meaning on anything is the moment that you experience a positive or negative experience. And so having heartbreak even is something that you've created for yourself with the consideration that somebody has, broken your heart, that somebody has done something that they've abandoned you or whatever it is. So we have to break on down even emotions for you to understand the truth. What is truth? right? Anger is a consideration that something is getting in the way of what you're trying to create. Sadness is a consideration that you can't create what you want to create. Fear is a consideration that something you value is being taken away from, might be taken away from you. Apathy is considering that nothing is valuable, right? The truth is that you are the ultimate power. You possess truth. And if you are still a victim anywhere in your life, if you feel like you're the effect of anything in your life, then you're not living truth. And I know that's hard maybe. And maybe it seems like, no, but they did do that. Or no, I was raped. Or no, my, parents did abandon me. And that's true. That happened. But what you're considering and the meaning that you're making around it is what you have created. And that is where you have choice. That is the truth. Who's to say what was a blessing and what was a curse? It's relative. And if we look at life is all working for us, every last drop of it has to be for us and not against us, because it is all about developing consciousness. That's the masterclass of life. I read another post on Instagram yesterday when I was writing the notes for this podcast, and it's so beautiful. I want to read it to you. It says, I am the sovereign center of my reality. I claim full responsibility and accountability for the energetic integrity of all my creations, past, present, and future. I hold a clear vision for my realm to be harmonious, peaceful, prosperous, healthy, and loving. And I choose to radiate these frequencies into the far reaches of my kingdom, and I'm going to input queendom, from my open heart. The word sovereign means to possess supreme and ultimate power. And so my question for you is, if you want to live a life of power, divine power, total prosperity, vitality, total joy, you've got to live universal law of truth, which means you have to live truth. You have to know in your mind at all points in time the truth of who you are, the truth of how life is working for you, and your unique divine relative truth, whatever works for you, and fully live that. The only suffering is wanting people, places, and life and yourself to be different than you are. I'm going to say it again. The only source of suffering is wanting people, places, and things to be different than they are, including yourself. When you accept yourself unconditionally, when you accept life, people, circumstances, political things, lockdown, government, everything exactly as they are, you restore your power, because in that acceptance, you're able to choose to create something new. The word sovereign means to possess supreme and ultimate power. And so in this, let's take a deep breath in through the nose and exhaling out. I recognize the truth of who I am. I recognize the power, the oneness, the allness, the greatness, the goodness that I am, that oneness, that I am factor, the consciousness, the Christ consciousness, the Buddhist consciousness, that Christ inside, not out there, not some man in the sky, not anything that is external. I recognize that in me is the power, and that if I ever consider myself to be the effect of life or the victim of life or anything, I immediately take away my power, because I place my power out there, and I disempower myself in that moment. And so in this moment, I claim the empowerment of who I am. I claim the truth of who I am. I remember the truth of who I am. I know that it's all working for me, and it is the meaning I put around things that dictates my experience. And in this, I choose to experience my greatness. I choose to experience the divinity within. I choose to experience creating the life that I choose to experience. And so I know today is a divine day to restore and take back all energy that I've handed out, that I take all inventory of where I've placed my power over to money, over to relationship, over to food, into my body, into everything out there. I'm not my body. I'm not this life. I am not even the beliefs. I am the creator of it. I choose in this moment to create something new today. That is my truth. That is the truth. And in this, I know also I get to experience what I like and dislike. That all relationships are the opportunity for me to discover more of what I like and do not like. And in this, I choose to give my allness, because in this selfishness, I actually transcend and become so charismatic that I touch and move people everywhere I go. knowing that I don't go out of bounds, I keep in harmony and I allow others to have their truth. I allow the truth of all of us to know that right here, right now is the most divine, precious presence ever. And it is the I am. And so I simply know this in mind. I release, as together we say, and so it is. All right, you guys, have a beautiful day. Please, if you have not given a review, I would love a 5-star review. If you've gotten value from this podcast, would you please share it to a friend? Because when we all awaken, we become more empowered, and everyone around us either leaves our life because they can't handle it, or they become empowered as well, and they rise with us together. And so it is my greatest commitment for us to awaken the world together. We have the mission of awakening a billion people, and together we're doing that. If you are not already a part of Soulciety, I invite you into the 5-day challenge that will start tomorrow, and it is free. And I'm going to walk you through monetizing as a spiritual entrepreneur. It is imperative that we get truth out to the world and that we do it with an exchange of energy to the flow of prosperity, abundance, and yes, money. I say yes to you. I say yes to you awakening and bringing your mission and message to the world. I say yes to all the masters out there that have already helped us in so many ways, all the great teachers, all the great minds. I say thank you to all the technology. Thank you for having us be connected, and have a beautiful day. May you live your truth. Thank you for tuning in to Soulciety and Dr. Aaron podcast. If you've had a calling to be a spiritual leader or coach, you can go to soulciety.com and check out our free training. If you've received value here, I would love it if you take a moment and give a 5-star review. In exchange, I have a ton of free gifts for you. Grab your free awakening book, 40 guided meditations, and digital manifesting masterclass. I also have a free money meditation and worksheet for you so you can begin to break through your scarcity mindset and claim your birthright of prosperity. You can get all of your gifts and learn about our upcoming transformational events in my bio link in both Instagram and Facebook. That's under draaron.tv, which is DRERIN.tv. Also, I'd love to invite you into our free private community on Facebook under groups called Soulciety. That is facebook.com/groups/Soulciety. That's SOULCIETE. Have a divine day, and may you live your truth.